Hello and welcome. And I have to welcome all of you to and introduce you to Ritam Bhatnagar, who is the founder of Asia's largest creative platform called IFP, formerly known as India Film Project. And apart from that, he is also a very passionate Lego builder. His dream is to build the entire world with Lego. So let's find out more about his passions and all that he creates. And welcome, Ritam, to our we have tried something very unique for the first time on our third anniversary.
Thank you so much.
I wanted to understand why and how did you start an extramarital affair with Lego?
I think it started way early in my life. I think when I was 4 or 5 year old, and I got a set. One of my father's roommate who used to live in US, he got that set for me. And for the first time, I saw bricks, and I remember it was such a curiosity filled moment back then. So of course, I don't remember the exact moment, but I remember the kind of feeling that you could build anything. There was infinite possibilities that you could build using just those putting those bricks next to each other. You could build a
Hmm.
home, you could build a car, you could build a tree, you could build a garden, you could build a pet, you could build so many things. And at an age like that, it's very fascinating. And that's how I got into Legos. And for a couple of years, every time my father used to travel a lot of countries. So whenever he used to go for his work purposes to different countries, he used to get me Lego. And eventually, for good 12, 13 years, I used to be making whatever limited amount of toys I used to get. Like I used to get one Lego set a year. And then cut to for good 10 years after the board exams, and then college happened, post graduation, and then I started IFP. So all those things happened. So for good 10 years, there was no connect until the history repeated itself. So my roommate, who was also my childhood friend, when he came for first time back from Canada, he got me a Lego set. I was like fairly surprised. And he said, you know what, couple of years back, you told me that as a kid, you used to love Lego. I thought I need to get this for you. And I think this was 2016. And that's where the entire affair started again. And ever since then, I started building. But again, like I said, in India, it's very rare to get Legos, especially the big ones that I am
Yeah.
into. And then COVID happened. And I said, COVID, I and my mom started building together. But I said, I need to give a purpose to this activity. So I said, I'll make the largest Lego city in India, which means a
Wow.
proper city that requires your town planning, that requires understanding of dimensions, spaces, how do you use those spaces. So I'm planning to make a 400 square feet city. And 400 square feet is like huge kind of a city
20 by
using
20 feet, yes.
yeah, a 20 by 20 feet city, and it's going to be a completely moving city in a way that it will have its own train, public transport system, moving airports, moving metro trains, moving Ferris wheels. So it will have a lot of moving elements into it. I think roughly reached somewhere around 50 square feet. And the goal is to make this city in next 5 to 7 years,
Okay.
probably more than that. But the idea is to now make something out of it.
Yeah, that was fabulous. So, people, if you haven't been following his work, please do check out. He recently made a helmet for Red Bull, which is, I think, kept in the Delhi headquarters or,
In the Bombay
yeah,
headquarters. Yeah.
in the Bombay headquarters. And he's done a can for Red Bull in the past, which is pretty huge. I have seen photographs and videos of him doing that. It's huge, and it's very rare to
Yes.
find such infectious energy and passion to do something and to continue doing it. So, looking at
I
a
think
project
it
for 5 to 7 years
comes
is quite something.
absolutely. And I think it comes from the fact that I have been doing this for almost 30 years now. And
Got it.
I think what fuels this continuously is the curiosity that every time I take bricks in my hand, I can create something new. What will be that something? So that curiosity is what keeps this entire fueled.
Got it. So, Ritam, a passionate Lego builder, the creator of IFP, it's one of the most widely known fests. What else are you made of? What else drives you?
I think, like I said, I am a curious creature. So for me, if you ask me one thing that I like, one word that I relate myself a lot with to, it would be curiosity. I'm like curious about everything that's happening around me, and I think I've been like this ever since I was a kid. So I think curiosity is what I'm made of. What are you made of?
Oh, I think curiosity is definitely a common factor. Uh, and I think there's one more common factor which you miss speaking on, which is creativity. I think both of us are uh, mixing curiosity with creativity to create something out of nowhere. जो मुझे काफी अच्छा लगता है बिकॉज क्यूरियस होना एक चीज है और उसको लेके टू क्रिएट समथिंग आउट ऑफ which doesn't exist. It's like basically thin air से हम कुछ create कर रहे हैं. So that is
Correct.
something totally different. And
Absolutely. But I think when someone is creatively curious, it's a very different sense of energy that you get, because while you are curious, curious is usually to satisfy your thirst, but now you
hmm,
are also creating something out of that curiosity, which means, I'm curious about how mandala is, which a lot of people can be curious about it. And
hmm,
then I'm using that curiosity to channel my energy into making it and learning it as well, and then trying newer things into it. Now, for someone who's just started learning, that kind of thought coming in saying that, hey, I can mix these two things, what will it
hmm,
look like? It might, in very good probability, it might look very bad and sad and
hmm,
something. But your
hmm.
curiosity saying that, hey, I can visualize it might look good, but let me still satisfy my thirst for knowing how the outcome is going to be. And I think that's how we are always into this trap. And I love calling it trap because we are curious and
Hmm.
then we want to build a solution. And then
Hmm.
while building a solution, we want to see what the output is. So we are again curious. And then again, we want to build a solution. So it's just this endless loop of madness.
Interesting. That's a very interesting way to put it. I am definitely using this.
You are an Atlas Kida. So you're like already in a loop of madness. You're like,
That is true. That is true. Yeah, it's been 3 years. और जब शुरू करा तभी सोचा नहीं था, but yeah, 3 years of being mad every single day. I think
yes.
that's quite a lot. Cool. Ritam, also tell us a little more about IFP since that's the first thing that I know you as. And so, for people who don't know, this is a backstory. So, Ritam, last year at IFP, when we were selected to actually exhibit, IFP clearly states being a platform of that scale, there are no setup charges, there are no commission charges. All the sale that happens is purely for the artists to keep. So this really touched me even when I was applying because in an age when most platforms earn commissions, IFP was like कि नहीं हमें setup का charges भी नहीं चाहिए. In fact, we will set up it for set it up for you. We will have a charge for you. Like we will incur a cost for to set it up for you. And plus sales का भी कोई commission नहीं, which is very unique and very touching. Like that was actually the first step. Uh, first time that I realized कि this is not just a festival. It has something more. There are people who have a heart who have thought this through. And then suddenly Rhythm walks up to our stall at IFP and buys a few bookmarks. And later on comes up again and asks कि अरे सब कुछ ठीक चल रहा है कि नहीं वगैरह वगैरह. So I got a little curious and I'm like कि आप you sound to be a little more curious. Nobody's asked me how is it going. So I go and ask him कि can I know like what do you do? Who are you? Then he's very casually like कि, yeah, I'm Ritam and I'm the founder of IFP. I'm like, oh, okay, okay, that is something. Just casually walking up around. But IFP 2022 was just amazing, and I'm sure 23 would also be equally good, much grander. Tell us more about it. When is it happening? What should we look
So
forward
the
to?
2023 IFP is happening this year throughout September and October. So September is when we do the creative challenges, and 21st and 22nd October is when the festival is happening. And answering about, because you asked me about how did we start, I think, and because you mentioned about us not charging a commission, taking care of the setup cost, we have been very artist focused community since day one. Anyone who's trying to create, I believe, is trying to do a favor to human race. Uh, and the only vibe that and or the culture we have set across the organization is saying that if there's someone who's creating, no matter how good or bad they are creating, our job is to push them, right? How will we earn money? How will we survive? We'll figure that out. Somewhere or the other, there are multiple people who will pay money for us to run the organization. But if we can probably give a platform, then we should give a platform. And that has been a very single line approach since the very first day. And it's been there with the entire team, with current team members, with ex team members. It has been kind of an ingrained thing. Saying that if you can help creator by even by making them earn a extra rupee, then you should do that, because eventually that will help them survive longer, which is where they'll try newer things, which is where they'll create their masterpiece. And that is where probably they'll never thank you in their masterpiece acceptance
Mhm.
speech, but you would know that you are part of a small part of their journey somewhere. I think that's what each one of us in the creative field needs to do. You need to like push the people who are creating. So that's the verified IFP. It's very simple. It's like because and we were very selective in terms of picking up people who were pushing the boundaries by doing something really new. So we knew that these people probably at least Kida would have been 2 years younger then, but
Mm.
probably next 10 years you might be something which might be a much bigger art or a craft or a creative company, and that is where someday we might just bump up at the airport and you would be like, "Hey, Ritam, thank you. That was a nice gesture," and I'll be like, "Great." So that's what we have
Absolutely,
been trying to do. Yeah.
absolutely. इंशाल्लाह ऐसा ही होना चाहिए.
I think creator, the entire creator word that came in, people started exploiting that word. I hate to admit, but most brands today, most creators today, are just very shallowly surfing across, trying to just वो river में बह जाते हैं ना, then you are just trying to catch one log and then swimming to another log, and you are just trying to float and survive. That's not how it is meant to be. That's not how it is ever going to survive. You'll have to be very deeply invested passionately into what people are trying to do. You say, okay, this person might not be a great creator, this person might be a great creator, but I am going to help both of them equally. What typically a lot of
Got
people or larger artists or artist managers they do is they pick up the best ones and they're like, hey, this guy's really talented, everyone wants them, every brand wants them, every show wants them. There are equally good people who don't get chosen, but the thing is, no, this still equally or probably not if equally slightly lesser talented. How do you weigh talent? Like it's such a subjective thing. So
yeah.
someone needs to come up and say, you know what, I believe in everyone. If you're creating, you are a hero. No one is a bigger hero, no one is a smaller hero.
I think what really sets people apart is consistency because it's very easy to start, but very difficult to follow it through. Like everybody is fascinated as a kid with, say, Lego, but very difficult for, and there are very few people who will follow it through. Somebody like you. So I think that is
I
what
think
will
it's
set people apart anyway.
absolutely, and I think it's more ingrained. Like it comes from within when you know that you can't see your life in a very black and white. Where you say, "Hey, as a kid, I was supposed to play. As an adult, I am supposed to work." That's
Yeah.
when 99% of the people are. And then I have to tell people, I said, there's no definition of playing and working, and there's no age relation to it. It's everything here.
Cool, Rhythm. Do you have any questions for me?
I just want to ask you, what's your next plan with Atlas Kida now?
Oh, quite a lot. We are also building a team uh, uh, in a small way, but I'm building a team and I already have a small team, which is people who are passionate about telling stories visually. And we are basically a bunch of storytellers who help other. So, apart from what we do, which is post one artwork every single day, and we have been doing that for the last 1096 days, that is 1096 days. So as we complete 3 years, we plan to not break this pattern. We plan to continue this every single day. And like ऐसे बूढ़े होके भी वो आई वांट टू हैव दैट कि हाँ चलो मतलब बचपन में या जवानी में कर रहे थे तो क्या हुआ अभी भी करना है. सो आई वांट टू लुक एट नॉट जस्ट 10 लाइक 1000 तो बहुत कम है. मुझे लगता है कि 10,000 या उससे भी ज्यादा भी जा सकता है. But apart from that, we are building a team of people who understand how storytelling works in today's age because it has changed drastically. And we otherwise also work with a lot of brands and other companies to help tell their stories. So we work with the authors, publishers, people who want their murals done, कोई office interiors
Wow.
कर रहे हैं. So we work with a lot of other creatives and have a solution or a story which is visual in nature.
Wow. And I think that's the need of the hour as well. We move
I would.
from videos and OTTs into a world of more involved visuals.
So I think my dream is to cover every single part of the world because every single part of the world has a story to tell, and that is what Atlas Kida should be covering. So yeah, we should be covering the entire Atlas. if not
Absolutely.
Mars
Sounds
and Jupiter.
sounds such a nice, well-defined purpose.
So yes, that is the plan. Cool.
Great.
That is a very good banter with you, Ritam. I will look forward to IFP this year. I am based in Mumbai, and if you need any help while you are here setting it up, after setup, during setup, please feel free to reach me out. My studio is available for you guys to use as well
Absolutely. And thank you so much for extending that to us.
anytime. Mutual support.
Absolutely. And happy third birthday to Atlas Kida. And I hope, like you said, I hope you have the happy 30th as well very soon.
Yes. Thank you, Ritam. Time. That means a lot. Take care and see you.
Okay. See you.